level up in your business, you really need to find a way to leverage your time, your energy. You need to be able to do things efficiently and effectively. And you need to be able to set up a system in your business where other people can support you. And so we're going to be talking today about a topic which is very near and dear to my heart. We're talking about all about simple systems to scale. So hello, welcome to this week's Biz Buzz. I'm Natasha Mitchell and I'm with my good friend here, Lee Mitchell. Hi Lee, how are you today?
I'm great, Natasha. And yeah, there's nothing more important than talking about ways to make us more productive and to make more money in our businesses. Yay!
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Lee, we're talking a lot about this in our mastermind, our Rise and Thrive Hive Business Accelerator, where we've got a group of women that are ready to scale up, level up, advance their business. More than anything, they definitely want to make more money in their business, but most of them are looking to regain more time back in their business. And, time is just one of those things that it's almost hard to put a value on, and the experiences that you can have with more time are just so fundamental to life. And I think that's why most people are actually in business, to have this elusive time and money freedom.
For sure. So, what are some of the things that you've been doing to help you and your clients become more productive and efficient within their businesses?
Yeah. So one of the big things that, that we like to start with when we're beginning to level up is look at everything people are doing in their business, and really just start with that list and identifying first what things can be automated or delegated, basically. And the number one thing we're trying to do for people is save time. We're also trying to improve efficiency and actually accuracy. Systems can actually improve accuracy. They're really great for repeatable tasks that happen time and time again, or tasks that you want to delegate. So the first bucket of systems and processes that I want to talk about are the free tools that we can have available, the free and easy tools that are available. You don't need to invest right out off the bat in a big, expensive, complicated technical system. You can do some really basic things. So there's three basic things that I think every business should have. And that's a calendar booking kind of tool. Well, not kind of tool, a calendar booking tool, an email autoresponder where you can put out automated emails and newsletters, and something like I'm going to call it a landing page builder. So when you're putting out offers, or a launch or a campaign, you can build landing pages. So they're the first three that I would start with. I mean, there's a million systems, Lee, we know that, but there are three that people can really start off easily with. I'll share quickly what I use. No preference or promotion intended, just the ones that I use. So for calendar, I use Calendly. All of these things have free versions of them as well, by the way. So I use Calendly for that. Email autoresponders. I personally, in the past, have used Aweber, which I liked. That has a free version. I now use a tool called Groove, and I'll talk a bit more about that later. But Aweber is great. MailChimp is great. There's a lot of free versions of email autoresponders. And from a landing page builder perspective, that's a little bit more advanced. And in fact, Aweber and MailChimp, they have their own landing pages built in, but I do use my Groove tool for my landing pages. I also like Lead Pages, and I'd say Aweber has quite a nice functionality as well. So there's some of the ones I'm using. What about you? What are you using in your business?
So I use a number of products. I use Zoho CRM system, which is part of Zoho One. I find that really amazing because it allows me to do my HR recruiting, my email. There's a time management calendar to do auto bookings. Just it has every tool that I need. So that's what I've been using. It's also it does my invoicing as well. So really robust tool. And I also use MailChimp for newsletters. Yeah, that would be the main ones that I use. And then for project management, Zoho has a tool, but in the past I've used ClickUp, which is quite robust, as well as Asana.
Yeah, and I mean that's a great overview of a couple of different tools. Again, there's many different tools. So I would say to people this is, consider the stage of business you're at. You don't necessarily need the all bells and whistles, all performing things when you're starting out. But we'll talk about Zoho a little bit more, and also a tool that I'm using, Groove, and why we're using tools like that in as we move further along in the business. So in the start of your business, as I say, you need sort of a way to book appointments. If you're in a service-based business, of course, you need some way to be able to send out emails, which is an autoresponder. You do need a tool that allows you to invoice and get paid. That's really important. And again, we'll talk about the more all-encompassing ones in a little bit, but even tools like PayPal or Stripe, when you're starting out, can be just really easy ways to invoice clients and get paid. There's fees associated with everything, and that's fine. I mean, obviously you can just ask people to e-transfer, but if you want to take it up a little notch, something like a PayPal or Stripe can work really well for you as well. Again, at the front end, free, at the back end, you're getting some fees, but that's all part of doing business. So that is important as well. Yeah. Any thoughts about that, Lee?
Yeah. So just to continue on with that idea, I also use WooCommerce and WordPress. So it's really great for managing a membership backend platform. So WooCommerce has membership capabilities and a variety of different tools that you can buy individually, but the actual commerce platform is free. So there's no cost other than the percentage that they take to like for the credit card transactions. So WordPress it's a great platform because it's the tool that you use to build your website, but then beyond that, you can do just about anything you want to make your business interactive in terms of like working with your clients. So many different options. Like, for example, I have a diversity-driven career board on my website, and that was all built with tools through WordPress.
Yeah. And, it is amazing. I feel like all of the tools have come so far. Even when I started out, I was, reflecting only in my business maybe 6 or 7 years ago, what tools could do then and what they can do now is like far advanced. And if you're watching this on replay or live, please feel free to leave us a comment, ask us a question. We're happy to share that. And if your eyes are sort of glazing over a little bit around all the tech and tools that we're talking about, I want to say this to you. Again, start simple. If you've got a list of things that that you're doing over and over and again, just address that. If you're writing the same email every day to answer a client's question, just create a template for that and just cut and paste that. Like, it can be as easy as that, like the calendar tools are super easy. And if you're not using some kind of online calendar in your business, that's a whole other discussion. Send me a DM. We need to talk. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed by the technology. There are many simple ways to do that. Templating, very basic calendar booking tools, very, like an auto email responder, or even without an auto email responder, an email template that you can send out, or a newsletter template that you can send out. We've started talking about a couple of all-encompassing tools, and I think the right time, well, you can start that right from the beginning. But, when you're getting to a point where you've got like 7 different tools, you've got a landing page tool, you've got a calendar booking tool, you've got an email autoresponder, and now there's a lot of different tools in the mix, and you're trying to integrate all of those and connect them up. that's probably a good time to think about one of the all inclusive tools. And Lee, we've just said it. At the end of the day, most tools can't do absolutely everything, but they'll do like 80% of what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just piggyback on what you're saying about email. We waste so much time going back and forth setting up appointments. So, having that schedule in your email signature is really smart. So then you can just refer clients if they want to book a time with you to just use the calendar in your signature. The other thing, Gmail has a lot of tools as well. So you could have your professional email set up. So like not a Gmail address, but your professional Inspire, driveinspire.com
Yeah.
web email address. And then use a lot of the tools that are in Gmail. So a lot of like Chrome has some great extensions that work with Gmail. So for example, if you have a CRM system, you can hook that up to your Gmail account, and then you can drive contacts that are in your email into your CRM system. So that's one feature that could save you time. Also, there are templates that you can use in Gmail that you can just set up things that you, like you said, that you just all use on a regular basis and just have them ready to go. And you just select the template that you want. So
Yeah.
lots of options, so many great tools out there just to make your life simpler.
Yeah, exactly. And not everything has to cost, an arm and a leg to do it, which is great. And as small business owners, we're always looking for that. And again, I think as you are ready to use more of this technology and be more efficient, if you're a bit nervous about jumping in, two things, like leverage this group, the Women in Biz Network group, ask a question in there. We're happy to point you in the right direction. And that also, we'll talk about virtual assistants another day, but that may also be the right time to start outsourcing to a virtual assistant, someone who is very good at the tech. Again, you might not even need someone full-time to do this. It might be a one and done setup where they can set things up for you, have it running, and show you then what they've set up and how they're using it. I would recommend that if you don't need to become an expert in every single one of these tools yourself, and particularly if that's not your zone of genius. So definitely think about leveraging other skill sets when you were talking about particularly some of the more comprehensive tools.
Absolutely. And so I'm just curious, what do you think are some good soft skills that one should keep in mind when you're thinking about scaling? So what I mean is, like just your mindset or the ability to say no, or, things like that. So what are some leadership techniques and skills that can help you build better systems by just being like, coming from within?
Yeah, I love that you include that in systems. It's not all about tech. I think really, for me, part of the system is having the strategy and knowing where you want to go in the long run. Like if you don't have that, then you won't even know what systems you need to have in place. So the first part of the system is really that strategy. From a mindset perspective, we've talked, in fact, it's interesting, the last few Business Buzz, we've talked about all of these sorts of things, systems for focus. How do you get focused? How do you time block? How do you manage your time? How do you set priorities? That's part of a system. This is not so much about mindset, but your networking system is part of your system. Your ability to say no is part of your system. So I think some of the tips around that definitely are in some of the past Biz Buzz. If you haven't seen them, you can go back and they're all recorded and available for you. But yeah, I think just the number one mindset is kind of remembering why you're in this business, why it's important for you, and remind yourself that's not all about the money, right? If you're feeling exhausted, if your health is suffering, if you're not spending time with the people that you care about, it's probably time to switch a few things up.
Totally agree with you there. So if you were to pick one thing that is the most important in terms of building a system, would you say what comes first, the tech, the goals, the, knowing what you want? What's most important?
Yeah, I think knowing what you want is first and foremost, and also knowing that the steps. So knowing what you want is number one, but even before you go to tech, is sort of knowing the steps and the process that you follow through. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not launching well because I don't have the right tech." That is not true. You can do a great online launch, you can do great ads, you can do great social media without a whole bunch of tech. I mean, social media, you need the platforms, obviously, but you don't need a very high tech system in the back end. And I see a lot of people using the technology as an excuse for not getting out there. Like, even coming on video, they're like, "Oh, well, I don't have big tech," or "What lighting should I use?" or "What camera should I use?" I don't care. Like, just get on the phone and turn your camera on. That's it, right? So don't hide behind the tech. The tech is just, again, a tool that can enhance everything. But if you don't know what you want, if you don't have a clear message and you're not clear on what your offer is, who your audience is, and how you can help people, none of the tech's going to really make any difference, right? It's just going to be another layer of complexity that doesn't move you forward. So that would be what I would prioritize. What about you? What's your thought about that, Lee?
Yeah, so I agree. I think having a sit down when you're not under stress, you're not going to be firing from the hip, so to speak, and just really kind of dialing into what you want, and then deciding, okay, like what systems do I need to have in place? What do I need my support system to? How can they help me? Do I need to take a weekend away and just, I call it a business honeymoon, where you just go and you be with your business and you figure things out.
Yeah.
Or you plan a strategy session, ones like what we provide, where we can sit down with someone and help them map things out. A business canvas where you figure out exactly what you need to do for the year, and then figure out what you need to then implement on that. So sometimes you need to bring, like, even myself, I'm a marketing person, but I'll bring in a marketing person. Like, I'm often conferring with other people because you get too close to your material and your business, and sometimes you need that outside perspective, some fresh eyes on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. And, look, the number one thing is this. It's in the title of Biz Buzz: simple systems to scale. Simplicity is the key to everything. Again, if you're feeling, it's a big block or it's out of control, then, get some help, ask for some help. And scale it back. Say, what is the easiest way? What is the foundational, minimum viable product is a word I like to use. So it's a minimum, bare minimum. I could launch this. If I didn't have any technology, how could I launch this? How could I get this message out there? So keep it simple. It doesn't have to be super complex. When you're more familiar with all of your own systems and processes, you've got a lot of clarity on what you can do, then you can start to explore some of the other tools that just make life even simpler with some of the more advanced technology. Lee's talked about an all-in-one tool. She uses Zoho. One of the tools that I'm using as more of an all-in-one launch, email responder, membership site, website tool, platform, plus payment integration, all of those things. I use a tool called Groove. So they're just a couple that you can you can explore or ask us more about, we'll be happy to share those with you. So Lee, as we wrap up, any last thoughts on the importance of systems in your business or how they've helped you to scale up?
Well, for me, the systems are people, right? So I think investing in building a team is critical for me personally, because I have lofty, ambitious goals and I can't do them on my own. I need to balance out my team with, various strengths and also, help me to play to, some of my weaknesses so that it all balances out and I can focus on the things that are in my area of genius and the things that I love to do. So, don't hide behind the things that may feel good in the moment to like distract yourself from maybe the real issues. Really go after tackling them, right? So, anxiety is something that we all deal with in business, and so our go-to reaction is sometimes avoidance. So just, it's okay to avoid things for a little bit, but when you're feeling strong, well rested, tackle those. Write down the list of things that are concerning you and brainstorm possible solutions.
I love that. I love the people as systems. That's really important. Get the help you need. I'm definitely writing down or recording systems and processes when you are in the moment. If you've done something more than 2 times, I would say then it's time to write down a process or record that process. And just I think for me it's about thinking of your business as a system as a whole, right? Like really, this is not just a bunch of random tasks that we do in the business. And that's why I think strategy is so important. That's the top layer. It's like, here's the strategy. Here are all the components that we need to make that strategy happen. And then here is the way we can most efficiently put those tasks into action, whether it's a tool, whether it's a template, or whether it's delegating to a team member or an outsourced provider. So Lee, we've covered some ground today. As I say, certainly a topic that's near and dear to my heart in terms of scaling and what it really takes to scale and what we put into place. We're going to be sharing a lot more tips and tricks and just inside perspectives on what we're using on our own business, what's working, what's not, to really help people to scale and grow their business. It doesn't look like we've got any more comments here right now, but I know, Lee, you're going to put a link in the chat to join us over in the private community to have a conversation about this right after this call. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We will see you again. We're here every Tuesday, 11 a.m. on Biz Buzz.
Thanks, everyone.